matters on CBS 17 News at 4.
Wake County Sheriff Gerald Baker is not going to be on the fall ballot after losing the Democratic primary.
That means either a former sheriff or retired major will replace him. CBS 17's Russ Bowen sat down with one of the candidates. And Russ, you talked about some sensitive issues.
Yeah, Angela, we did. Willie Rowe is retired from the sheriff's office. He says if he were to win, there are some specific changes that he would tackle first. Unfortunately, since the last time we sat down a few months ago, we lost a deputy here in Wake County in the line of duty. Is there anything, looking back from what you know now, in terms of protocol that you would change, whether it's procedure in terms of what led up to that point where he was shot or after the fact, that you would want to look at policy-wise in the future?
But anytime an officer is injured or loses his or her life in the line of duty, it's very tragic. It's very devastating to the public as well as to fellow officers. So it's important that we have policies and procedures, guidelines, protocol in place that accommodates that situation, that's comforting to all who are impacted by it. It has a traumatic effect on the officers, so counseling is important. But also you have to think about the family members of the deceased. So you have to have a policy in place where initial contact is made by the sheriff to the next of kin to inform them of this tragic incident and to offer the service of the department to make sure that the family is accommodated, providing the resources that are needed, giving timely information and updates to what's going on. You reach out to additional law enforcement, be it state, local, or federal, to bring in all the resources necessary to conduct the investigation. I think holding a press conference every morning about 10 a.m. to inform the public of the status of the case, what agencies are involved and what their role is, what resources you're providing to the family, thanking the public for the information they can provide, and acknowledging the media for their assistance in getting the information out.
It's certainly a sobering reminder that it's a very dangerous job.
Definitely. Each day that you go out, you can be confronted with a situation that will prevent you from returning home. So it's a very serious work, great responsibility, and that's why we have to have officers well-trained, well-qualified, provide them with the resources and the tools they need to get the job done, but have the community relationships with individuals out here in the community who will be our partners, our eyes and our ears as we work together for the common good.
Recruitment, a challenge for every law enforcement agency in the country, you know, just like any other industry in the country. Does the danger of the job make it that much harder to find people who are willing to even apply?
Most definitely. Anytime there's risk and there's danger, people are hesitant. But there are a lot of people who love to serve and protect, who have a heart to keep others safe so they can enjoy life to the fullest. But your best recruitment tool is your current staff. That's why working conditions have to be at its best. Morale has to be high. And that comes to light by the way you treat your staff, how you provide for them, the opportunities, the training, a clear and defined career development pathway so that people can advance, they can get the assignments they need, the schools, the training, properly compensated in order to live a comfortable life. But most of all, they're valued in the way they're treated, and they understand that we're one and we're a family trying to serve to the common good of all.
Do you think the lack of that approach to some degree is at fault for the low morale that we continue to hear about that's currently within the sheriff's office?
Well, it's always a challenge, for the leader to keep everybody motivated and on target, but that comes with leadership. You have to model the behavior that you want your deputies and your detention officers and civilian staff to conduct themselves. So it may be a challenge, but it's one that has been answered time and time by treating people the way you want to be treated.
Community engagement has been something that you've talked about before. Why is that so important, especially in a growing county like we're seeing right now?
Well, community engagement actually establishes facts and dispel myths and misinformation. It allows deputies, detention officers, civilian staff in the sheriff's office to interact with the public so that we can break down the walls of division, open doors of opportunity. I always say when an officer engages with our youth, it allows the youth to look past the uniform and see a person. And it also allows the officer, when you're looking at our youth, to see a bit of yourself when you were at that age, instead of looking at them as a statistic that you may be arrested 5 or 10 years from now. This way we build a relationship that allows people to see that we have more in common than in difference. And that really allows us to be able to work together for the common good of all.
Certainly a lot of challenges ahead, and let's not forget, Angela, you alluded to this in the beginning about the fact we're the most populated county in this state now. That alone brings more challenges as far as budget and recruitment and all of the above. Rowe is competing against former Republican Sheriff Donnie Harrison. I'll sit down with him, guys, next week.
All right. Russ, thank you very much. Appreciate it.